Hey folks, what's happening? So let's do a little video today. It's Monday, July 20th. I had a red day trading. I had a lot of weird losses, and a lot of them were trying to go counter this trend. Trend days for me are the worst. I hate trend days for some reason. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. There's no other way of saying it than that. So here's my trade log. My win rate was just above 50%, and I actually continued trading a bit. I took 1 or 2 trades after I said I was going to stop, so I resulted with a bigger loss than I should have, but that's part of what the game is, and we'll come back stronger tomorrow. Not a big deal. I'm going to go back and review some of today's trades. So I started off, I was playing with the command prompt just to see what kind of latency I'm getting here with this data service. So I use IB for data. So generally the latency is quite good. It's around between 28 to 30 milliseconds is the general latency that I get with IB. And I noticed that with TradingView, the latency is higher. So all you do, you're going to ping IB's server. So that's the thing for IB server. It's ndc1.ibllc.com. You ping that, and that's where their data service comes from basically, and for me that's generally the ping I'm getting, around 28 milliseconds. So let me know, guys, if you think that if you have a faster download and upload internet speed, is that going to improve the connection even more? And I don't really know that because I'm not an internet expert, but for scalping and short-term trading, do you think it would make a big difference if per se my upload download speed was doubled? Right now I have like something normal like 15 and 10. If I upgraded it to 100, do you think it would result in a big difference in the latency? Yes or no? So let me know in the comments below. Other than that, I noticed that TradingView is slower. There's more latency on tradingview.com, so it's about 75 milliseconds of latency there versus around 30 for IB, and that's kind of why it's faster generally. So let's see if we can get a hold of this here. So the market moved lower and then slowly came up. Let's see. A couple of little scalps as the day progressed here, but what I really want to focus on is the losses. So as the Nasdaq moved higher, it became clear that we were kind of lacking the sellers. The sellers were not really coming through, and you're going to see how we consolidated here and then we moved higher. So I caught a long there, just a nice little long, and probably I cut it too early because again it's tough. Caught a little short there for a scalp, got out. Caught a little short here for a profit, got out. Let's see. Bulls came through, push it above there. I'm short, I get out for a break even. Bulls are still in control, and you can see that we're trending higher. So I don't know what it is. I have to go back and study and understand these trends, because I find trend days in general are just so hard to understand. They're just irrational in every way possible. And I don't think I'm the only one who thinks that, to be honest. That's why they happen, because they're irrational in my opinion. So you're gonna see me short there and I got out. Let me see, did I get it on stop or did I get it on a limit? So I was short on that tick, and I'm not going to go over why I got short, but anyways, I ended up letting myself get stopped out for the loss there. So that's one of the first losses I took. No fun indeed. And again, the market gave me 1 or 2 chances to get out there. It gave me a chance to get out briefly, and probably I should have taken it. So after that, you see we're pushing these 760s, lots of stops getting hit above this market price. And then from there, we continue to trend higher. And again, I didn't learn my lesson because I keep looking to trade these little shorts, and we're clearly in an uptrend. This time I kind of nailed it, but look at how the price reacts. So it came down, gave me some profit, and then it got bought up very quickly. It's coming close to the stop, and you're going to see that it just consolidates sideways, and then it missed my stop by a tick, and then look at that. It's sideways, 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 gives me a bit of profit, and then I actually take a profit. So I got lucky that time. We were in this sort of sideways channel, and the market eventually broke bearish out of this channel because there wasn't enough power to push this above these 769s. And that's kind of why I was short. I wasn't short just because I wanted to be short. I was short because the tape told me that there was a likely chance that we could go lower. So you see me get short there. That time I'm pushing my luck. And this is the kind of stuff that works well in a bear trend, where I'm kind of looking to fade against that rally and see if we could see another pullback down to test these, because I feel like these longs right here are just getting away with murder, right? If we don't go down and test that, these longs are getting away with murder. So that's kind of what I was looking to fade, and you're going to see the market just moves higher, slowly tries to move up, and then I think I got out break even. We moved lower, I'm short, and then as soon as I get short, sooner or later we see these buyers just come back in to defend these low 50 marks, and that was the end of the story for me. So I definitely got stopped out there for a loss. So again, it's just kind of not listening to the tape. A lot of it is not listening to the tape. So let's just go back and watch that. So look at how we come down to test this. I was looking to get short to see if we could see more follow through under these low 50s. But look at how the market's reacting. It's just kind of grinding higher. We see a little bit of a sell. That's the kind of seller momentum I'm looking for. See, we push down to about 55 or so, and the sellers just don't have any steam at that point. See, there we go. We see it a little bit more, a little bit more. Potentially the market gives me some profit there. You see that? There we go. Give me some profit. Gets answered by buyers, trading up about 57 again. And then sooner or later, it looks like these sellers, they keep trying. The sellers are trying there. And then sooner or later, they get answered with buyers. I'm just praying at this point. I'm just saying like, all right, well, the seller's going to answer. Nope. No sellers are going to answer. Buyers are going to answer. That's it. The buyers took control and I'm out. So that's the kind of thing. And that's what was happening a lot of this time during the trend day, is that basically you would see sellers come through. The sellers would come through on the tape, and sometimes they would get some steam rolling, but most of the time they would just kind of lose their steam and get answered by buyers. That just flood of buyers, you know? It's a tough one, right? So you're going to see I actually got long there by accident, I think. Some profit, and then I took profit up there at 769. So not a bad one there. I managed to catch that long trade. And now that I'm seeing this, right, this attracts a lot of sellers, because you see that we just broke the high of the day and we're failing pretty aggressively. So that will attract a lot of sellers. So what this was right here, in hindsight, is that look at how the sellers are answering. I got on board with that because I like this sort of setup where you see a massive pop and a massive dump. But again, we're pushing right back down to where these buyers were before. So look at how we trade down here. We're trading into the 58s, get answered by buyers pretty soon after. And we're trying again. The sellers are trying for these 58s. So at this point, you got to be ready with the finger on the trigger. There we go. So 57s, and we're trading. It's sort of a battle, but the buyers are just... See, there we go again. They just push it right back up. So right there, that's just get out. Just get out there. And there we go. Another time the sellers, and another time the buyers. It was a bit of a short trap, actually, because look at how the buyers kind of answer. The sellers keep trying to answer. Look at all these floods of sellers just coming through. Another wave of sellers just arriving there, getting absorbed around these 60 marks. And then sooner or later, look at how the market traded higher and stopped me out. So this was definitely a short trap right here. A great short trap that I got trapped in, and better luck next time. That's all you got to say, right? Just realize it's there next time, right? So we had the great short trap. It was fine to get short there, but at the same time, when we came down here, the sellers just kept getting absorbed. We had wave after wave of sellers, and I can see the waves of sellers on the tape with the momentum tails on the Jigsaw platform. Those sellers were just getting absorbed into the 60 mark, and then sooner or later the bulls just again kept control. And you're going to see me do this multiple times, and I just didn't learn my lesson clearly. So I got out here for a profit this time, and this one was a little bit better because once we managed to push above here and see no follow through, at that time it was logical that the sellers could get some steam rolling because we've stopped out those bears. Now we've come up here and caught some longs on board, no follow through above there, and then that sets up a decent little long trap, and that's kind of why I got that short there. So again, a lot of this trading style, guys, is just waiting for these little traps to set off, and a lot of the time they set off well. Sometimes the trap is set, but then the trap fails. So, you know, you kind of have to be quick with the trigger to get out sometimes. So here we go. This was another nice little short. Here we came back up and we're sort of rejecting these higher 60 marks. So this is trading range price action. I personally trade best during trading range price action for some reason. And this right here, there was another great trap right here. So you see that nice tail? We rejected this price and then came all the way back into the range. This right here, for me, is bulls getting away with murder, and usually it will get tested, especially in a trading range. So similar to this, we had this sort of move where we break it by one tick, come right back into the trading range, and then we're coming back in here. The bulls think that they're getting away with murder, but then what happens is no buyers are left to kind of support this up here, and we start trading lower. So I'm looking to fade against this. If we can trade under these 60s, I'm looking to fade that move. So you're going to see us trade lower, and then we do it, and then I'm out. So I took profit on that trade, and we traded down into these 50s only to catch more buyers. So at this point, it was very clear to me that the sellers had no steam under these 50s right here. So what I did was I kept watching, and I wanted to see what would happen. So you can see how we're trading higher, and then I tried to take a little short there, and you're going to see the price move up, back down, gives me a chance to get out. So right there, Another little trap, another little similar thing around these 50s. Again, bulls are getting away with murder. We broke it, but not by much. Bulls come in here because they think the selling's over, and then they think they're getting away with murder, and then the sellers come back in to get them out. So again, this is kind of like a video game, right? So at this point, when I see we've lost it and come back up, I go for a long scalp there because, again, we're in an area of demand, and these sellers are not willing to sell lower than these prices down here. So what you're going to see here is we try a couple of times and then we slowly tried grinding higher. I got out with a small profit on that point, and then I did it again a few times, just getting long. Did I get stopped out? Yeah. So there was one long trade here that was a real mistake. All of this right here, I had to just sit back and realize that this was a limit order market. This is not a market order type of trade right now. This is a limit order trade where if you're going to front run the fact that these buyers are chilling out here, or these 50s absorbing the sellers, just be patient, get in on a limit order. And I didn't do that. I got in a market and I got filled way up here. My emergency stop down here, and you're going to see it get tested. So that was a bad trade. But again, when I saw myself get stopped out and then the buyers were still present around the 50s, that kind of gave me confidence that, you know what, most likely we're going to see some higher prices from here. And again, I kind of like that formation. We're in sideways consolidation, and it's sort of like this, almost like a wedge. And again, lots of sellers in this area here, 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 and here. So it makes sense that since we're somewhat of a bull trend day, now it looks like a good area to kind of buy the dip, right? So I bought the dip here, and there we go. We tried for lower prices, and we keep trading around these 50 marks. These 50s we can't trade lower than the 50s. The sellers are not interested in selling lower than that. So what happens is we eventually trade higher. It gives me some profit. We get a couple of little these shakeouts just to shake out weak longs. The market gives me profit, comes back down to shake out some weak longs, and then sooner or later realizes there's no more sellers, and then we trade higher. So that was a nice little long trade there, and I got out around the high 60s. So pretty good long trade. In hindsight, probably I should have kept it all day because we're trading higher. Now we're still in the 800s on the NASDAQ. And then after that, it was just disaster mode for me. I think I tried to short it a couple more times here. So after we traded above there, you're going to see me try to short this because, again, I think that these bulls are getting away with murder right here. So we have a two-legged pullback. And again, lots of bulls coming in right around here, around these 70s and these high 60s. And I think I'm fading against them, basically. I think they're getting away with murder at this point to just buy this dip. But I was clearly wrong, because what happened was we just slowly traded higher and higher and higher. There was no sellers. The sellers just washed out there, did not show up. There were no sellers at all. So I got stopped out of that one. Yeah, so then after this, I believe I took a couple of these shorts here, trying to fade some moves, failing pretty aggressively. So that was one of them right there. And again, just lack of sellers. So see, I get short there, trying for these low 70s. And again, it's me hanging on to the idea that these bulls, all of these bulls, these ones and these ones are just getting away with murder, in my opinion. So I'm thinking we're going to come down and test this at least one more time. But what ends up happening is that we are more likely resuming the bull trend. So look at how the sellers are just kind of weak. The buyers have momentum. So there we go. You see the sellers are trying there. They try for lower prices. They have no steam. The sellers got no steam. And look at those bulls. Those bulls just buy. The bulls have momentum at this point. The sellers do not have momentum. Very low volume. And probably right there, that would have been my cue to get out. Seeing this kind of price action, it's just like, okay, why are you short? But again, in hindsight, it's easy to see that. And there we go. Those buyers just come through. More momentum. And sooner or later, I get stopped out. So this happened a couple more times, mainly due to trying to fade against the trend at times. And not a great idea overall. Again, I'm bad with trading with the trends. All right, guys, I wish you a great day. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.